Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. I welcome you all for the global. I welcome you all to the Global Women Empowerment Summit 2023. We're the second day of the Women Empowerment Summit, and today we'll be discussing on the topic evolving role of women in science and technology. Today we have with us another panel of eminent speakers. We have Rania Lampau ma'am, who is a global educator, STEM instructor, and ICT teacher trainer from Greece. We also have uh, another eminent speaker, Dr. Pranati Patra, lecturer in English from Aryan Gurukul Residential College, Behrampur, Odisha, and Shalu Chaudhary ma'am, holistic life transformation coach and mindset trainer. I welcome everyone, all the speakers for this wonderful talk. And yes, as per the topic that we are having today, evolving role of women in science and technology. We know that yes, the number of women in the field of science and technology is increased, but still the role of women in this field is underrepresented compared. So there are few reasons for that, like it can be due to the stereotypes that the people feel that boys are better at science and mathematics as compared to girls, and some of the economic concerns that the people have that science education is costlier as compared to the arts and commerce, and there are few role models. In fact, there are many male scientists that we keep on discussing about. There are few female scientists at the work, and the others who are working in the field of science and technology. But most of the time, they are not projected as role models, I think, because of which the women, it is so that women cannot do well in the field of science and technology. And there are many reasons. There are, in fact, many reasons, and there are a number of uh, initiatives that are being taken by the government for increasing the participation of women in the fields of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So let's see. We have an, another panel of eminent speakers at this platform. So let us now hear from them. So firstly, I invite our first speaker, Ramya Lamperman from Greece.
Good afternoon, greetings from Greece. It's a great honor and privilege to be here today in this global summit about women. And I would like to congratulate all the team of Idym for this great work they are doing every day. And also would like to thank Dr. Ravi Shankar for his invitation. So on the occasion of the National Women's Day 2023, in a few days, today we celebrate women's science and technology because women are a pivotal part of technological advancements and should be encouraged and empowered through education and work opportunities. They should be engaged in open collaborative dialogues, and especially young girls should be inspired to not only pursue science careers, but also to become leaders and innovators in their own communities. Science and gender equality are vital for the achievement of the internationally agreed development goals, including the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. And this also concerns SDG 4 about quality education, SDG 5 about gender equality. And in order to achieve full and equal access to participation in science for women and girls, and further achieve gender equality and the empowerment of women and girls, the UN has declared 11 February as the National Day of Women and Girls in Science. Furthermore, the COVID pandemic also had a significant negative impact on women scientists, particularly affecting those at the early stages of their career. And therefore, this has contributed to widening the existing gender gap in science and reveals that the gender disparities in the scientific system, which need to be addressed by new policies, initiatives, and mechanisms, to support women and girls in science are important and imperative. Historically, we all know that the role of women in the field of science has been the background. With some exceptions, the work of women scientists has been overlooked and ignored. Girls and women are systematically tracked away from science and maths throughout their education, limiting their training and options to go into this field as adults. Uh, However, despite significant improvements in the recent decades, education is not universally available and gender inequalities persist. A major concern in many countries is not only limited in the numbers of girls who are going to school, but also limited educational pathways. And what happens here as STEM underpins the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, and STEM education can actually provide learners with the knowledge, skills, attitudes, and behaviors required for what we call inclusive and sustainable societies. Leaving out girls and women in STEM education is a loss for all. And what about higher education? Women have traditionally been systematically kept out of higher education, although enormous strides have been made in recent decades to open education to women, and gender disparities in academic participation, particularly STEM fields, have diminished over time. However, they still exist today, and there is still a lot of work to be done. And in contrast to other college degree programs, STEM professions have a significantly higher proportion of male students than female students. So at present, it's interesting to see that less than 30% of researchers worldwide are women. Only around 30% of all female students select STEM-related fields in higher education. Globally, female students' enrollment is particularly low in ICT, in mathematics and statistics at 5%, and in engineering, manufacturing, and construction. And of course, numerous studies have found that women in STEM fields publish less, they are paid less for their research, and do not progress as far as men in their careers. So this gender disparity actually is alarming. It's crucial, especially since STEM careers are considered now to be the jobs of the future, driving innovation, social well-being, inclusive growth, and sustainable development. And we see that girls appear to lose interest in STEM subjects with age, particularly between early and late adolescence. And this low interest affects, of course, participation in advanced studies at the secondary level. So we've seen this gender gap, STEM education participation, that becomes more obvious in higher education. Female students represent only 30%, as I said before, 35% of all students enrolled in STEM-related fields at this level globally. And differences are also observed by disciplines, with female enrollment lowest in engineering, manufacturing, construction, mathematics, and ICT fields. So what are the causes of all this? Of course, there are long-standing biases, gender stereotypes, all these factors that actually steer girls and women away from these science fields. The root of the problem, we could say, exists in school education, and in certain misconceptions, these biases regarding STEM fields in general, like the gender stereotypes as I mentioned, because STEM fields are often considered as masculine. In other words, they're not thought suitable for girls, or people think that they would be of little or no interest to them. And as a result, teachers and parents tend to underestimate girls' math abilities and affinity for other STEM fields as early as preschool, for instance. The second factor we could say is the male prevailing cultures, because men are vastly more than women in STEM fields. They tend to dominate the culture. This means that most STEM cultures have been formed mainly by men. They're not flexible, they're exclusionary, and very male dominated. So STEM workplaces cannot be supportive of women. And when you know that when women usually are portrayed in science, we notice that they are often shown through unflattering stereotypes, or as figures who have limited social lives, or as figures who are not physically appealing. Such caricatures, of course, can discourage some girls from pursuing studies in science, and this might also contribute to many other participants to what we could say is a leaky pipeline. The number of women in scientific fields in universities exceeds those in scientific careers, and even more women leak out of the system as they have been in the careers longer. Another factor is very important, I think you mentioned it, the lack of female role models. Boys have a lot of role models to choose when it comes to STEM fields, but it's not the same for girls. Women scientists seem to be underrepresented in textbooks, the news, and even fiction, as there are very few female characters in popular TV shows, movies, books, and video games. Girls have fewer role models, and this, of course, is something that forms their personality and their mentality. Another factor is what we call math anxiety. Female teachers seem to think that girls should try harder than boys when it comes to math. And this is what we call as math anxiety. And this is the reason why female teachers seem to be stricter when they grade girls than boys. And this tends to put girls off math and STEM in general, and of course causes them lack of self-confidence when it comes to math. This confidence gap is related to another misconception that we call math brain. According to this misconception, men's brains are better suited to math. Of course, her research has shown time again and again that there is no any cognitive biological difference between boys and girls when it comes to math. And of course, this misconception causes mainly female teachers to push girls harder than boys when they teach math. And this causes, of course, many girls to lose confidence, as I said before, in their ability to understand and handle math by the time they get to the second or third grade. So what we can do, when we talk about strategies, it's time for change. It's up to us as educators and teachers and researchers to fight these stereotypes. First of all, when it comes to teaching and learning STEM, most researchers seem to focus on the content, what is being taught, which is not correct, because recent studies show that context, and not only content, are also important. The content, the way in which STEM is taught and tested. Here in Europe, we have the first, recently was developed the first STEM European Evaluation Framework, because so far there are no guidelines about how to evaluate and how to assess STEM activities. So we need global frameworks. This is the first one. We need to promote, of course, public awareness to parents about how they can encourage daughters as much as sons in science, supporting learning opportunities. We need to raise awareness that the girls and women are as capable as boys when they're given educational opportunities and encouragement. We need to encourage girls to take, for instance, after in some countries, after school and summer STEM opportunities for girls, something that we're doing here in Greece. We can promote mentorship, supportive, always learning environments, and real-world learning opportunities, such as extracurricular activities, field trips, or camps and apprenticeships. All this can help inspire and retain girls' interest. We need to emphasize, of course, to focus on strong role models for women. And when we talk about higher education, we need to increase awareness of higher education, career opportunities, mentoring programs with women. So we need to design courses and change environments and practices in the way that will be more welcoming for women. We need to make the entire academic community responsible and accountable for preventing any sexual harassment to ensure transparency and accountability. We need to prioritize, in any case, diverse, inclusive, and respectful environments. There are already some initiatives, Girls Co-Coding here in Greece, Coding Girls, many in NASA, National Girls Collaborative Project. There is another one which is called Million Women Mentors. scientists or association for women scientists, many initiatives that are being developed all around the world. I'm a supporter of all these initiatives. And in particular, I want to say that there is a very important project for higher education, which was Erasmus project. It was funded by the European Union. It is called the WSTEM project, Building the Future of Latin America, Engaging Women into STEM. And this project suggested the following strategies. First of all, that it's important to keep track of and analyze gender equality in enrollment and retention rates in STEM programs. That means that gender gaps need to be revealed and studied, and this can only be done by collecting and analyzing data on a regular basis. So we need to organize, analyze, and monitor data pertaining to the number of female and female students. Second one, universities should make their STEM programs more accessible to students and provide them with guidance. That means that could be providing counseling sessions and any kind of advice or information on gender issues. College universities are already developing campaigns aimed at girls in high school in order to raise awareness for the STEM programs and attract more female students. And these campaigns include activities such as webinars or workshops or short courses in topics like robotics and programming, student groups and talks. All these are amazing initiatives. And let's not forget online tools that will put in action the strategies mentioned above in order to increase retention rates and attraction and ensure access to STEM programs. Another thing important that I want to highlight is the interdisciplinary work of women. Interdisciplinary work has many benefits for science and women alike. When women work together across disciplines, their opportunities in science increase. By connecting disciplines and working together, scientific advancement becomes more inclusive and it's more beneficial to science. Personally, what I'm trying to do is, of course, I'm working on this gender equality in the field of natural science with my students. I'm trying to encourage girls in the field of natural sciences, and we have created an educational video. My students created years ago. You can find it on YouTube. It's a very nice video. My students created the portraits of 30 eminent scientists from Marie Curie till today. And based on these portraits, they created an educational video. And this video was awarded in a European competition organized by STEM Alliance, and it was aired on the national air television. By concluding, I want to say that it is our responsibility to pave a better road for the future of girls and women, ensuring that talent, hard work, and perseverance are more important rather than gender, race, or religion. And all these are driving forces in achieving success in scientific careers. Thank you very much for your attention, and for any question I'm here to discuss with you. I forgot to say that also I'm a part of many women organizations, and I'm forming a list of volunteers, women engineers, who are delivering lectures, online lectures for the privileged children in Africa. So my first priority is how to promote STEM in developing countries, and especially to those students who lack basic elementary digital skills. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's really wonderful. And in fact, I would like to just tell the viewers thought about Rania Ma'am again, that she is also a STEM instructor with the Greek astronomy and space economy and space company, and she is also working at the Greek Ministry of Education as a Directorate of Education, Technology and Innovation, and where she writes.
Yes, since last year we have I have launched a STEM workshop for students, for schools, twice a week. They come at the ministry. Our minister has inaugurated my program. And it has amazing results because students are crazy when they're involved in such activities.
That is really great listening to you, like the different kind of projects that you have been doing. And as you were telling about, yes, and there the gender roles are the differentiation of the gender, that the girls are not encouraged. So even this is happening in India, but at least where the place where I belong, I can see, I have seen the number of girls increasing in the field of science and technology, but you cannot find them at the leadership roles, we can say. Still they are in the studying, they are studying, and there are a number of problems why the number of girls, like increase in the number of girls is not observed overall India, if to say there are a number of issues over that, and we will be discussing it later over here. And
Yes, I want to say something about this.
yeah, sure.
The same happens in Greece because women in academia are not, they're not in leadership roles because of law, because the law defines a specific percentage of how many women should be in higher positions. So we talk about policy also. Policy is important when about women in academia. It's a holistic approach, and every factor should be considered.
Yes, every factor should be considered. And to carry forward the discussion, I invite the next speaker, Dr. Praniti Patra from Orissa. So, ma'am, just speak over the stage. We are just waiting to hear from you. Another versatile speaker on the ITY platform.
A very good evening to one and all. At first, at the outset, I must expound my heartiest thankfulness to you dignitaries for giving me this wonderful opportunity to deliver a few lines on women and men, how they are different. Though they are different, yet the difference is to be celebrated. I mean, say, I am going to speak a few lines about empowerment of women and the role of women in development of society, state, and nation. Hello, is my voice audible to you, ma'am? Shall I continue, ma'am? Okay, thank you very much. Men and women are the splendid and spectacular creation on earth by the Almighty. Hello, it seems that there is some network issue. Okay, okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you. There is close harmony, mutual interdependence between man and women since the era of creation, as it is depicted in the Paradise Lost by John Milton, which illustratively elaborates the plot of Adam and Eve, the first man and the first woman of the world, who were later cursed by God due to the villainy of Satan. The empowerment of women is essential for the development of society. Women have suffered a lot through the years at the hands of men. As women were not allowed to make decisions for them, women empowerment came in like a breath of fresh air. It made them aware of their rights and how they must make their own place in society rather than depending on a man. Almost every country, no matter how progressive, has a history of ill treating women. The word women empowerment itself implies that women are not powerful enough. They need to be empowered. This painful truth has been in existence for a long time. The patriarchal society suppressed women's freedom across the world. Women were confined to their homes. As times progressed, they realized their life meant much more than just in the household. As more and more women started crossing the man-made barriers, the world began to witness the rise of women. Several hurdles restrict girls from getting an education. These barriers mostly arise in natural resources. The main barrier is people's conservation. Related to this, study as the in future, while girls should perform cooking and other household chores. Women are equal contributor to the country's. Hello, ma'am. Sorry, is it audible, ma'am?
Yes, it's audible.
I think one call came, that's why I was bound to ask. Women are equal contributor to the countries. Their illiteracy rate will highly affect the development or progress of nation. An educated woman is capable of supporting her family in bad times. As it is well said that educating a boy means educating one person, but educating a girl means educating the whole society. Education, each one of the basic necessities of human being. It is necessary for all human beings, irrespective of their caste, creed, gender, and religion. Women's rights are basic human rights claimed for women and girls all over the world. It was enshrined by the United Nations around 70 years ago for every human on the earth. Women's rights are important as they give women the opportunity to get an education and earn in life. It makes them independent, which is essential for every woman on earth. Thus, we must all make sure women's rights are implemented everywhere. Don't it is my focus on the fact that people must not remain silent spectators. Rather, whenever they find any violence or oppression or suppression, they should raise their voice. They must not be mute spectators to the violence against women. Government in India cannot be compared with that in other countries. They were highly respected in many places. They focused on women education that was not never absent. That was not absent at all. The word Sahadhar meaning was learned from Vedic days, and it implies equal factor. It is thus very clear that women in India in ancient days enjoyed respect, education, and reverence. As time passed, the Indian culture was contaminated with the conservative Western and British culture. Consequently, power and respect that women enjoyed were lost. Gradually, after independence, women started regaining the lost power. The country saw its female prime minister, president, eminent female sports people like Sainia Nehwal and P.T. Usha. Moreover, the country has blessed with talented women scientists like A. and Giza. So far, some international or some women scientists and recognized women renowned personalities from other countries are Anna Mani, who has won Indian physicist and meteorologist, served also former deputy director general of Indian Meteorology Department, who made significant contributions in the field of meteorological instrumentation. Another another renowned woman, well-known woman, who could contribute a lot to bring some reformation to society. Uh, we may include, say it's none other than Rajashree Chatterjee. 60 years ago, Rajashree Chatterjee was the only woman faculty in the Indian Institute of Science. In the field of microwave engineering and antenna engineering in India. In 1949, she received her MS degree in electrical engineering. Like, yes, ma'am. Now, hello. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, now it's okay. Because it was breaking, we could not hear you properly.
Is it audible, ma'am? Now is it audible, ma'am?
Now it's okay. Yes.
Okay. Another famous, well-known, and we may say who pioneered something was none other than Malala Yousafzai. Miss she was Pakistan. She advocated for girls' education and the youngest ever naval enterprise laureate. In 2009, at the age of 11, she began blogging about life under Taliban, speaking out directly against the threat to the girls. The blog on BBC Urdu got international attention, making her the target of death threats. In October 2012, a gunman shot her and two other girls as they were coming home from school. Mara survived better and went to publish I Malala, a girl who stood up for education and was shot by Taliban. The next famous professional and social environmental activist whose name was Wangari Maathai. Wangari Mehta Maathai was born in 1940 and died in September 2012. Was a Kenyan social, environmental, and political activist and the first African woman to win the Nobel Peace Prize. She was the founder of the Green Belt Movement and 2004 Nobel Peace Prize laureate. Dr. Aditi Pant is an oceanographer by profession and is one of the first female women to visit the icy continent Antarctica. There are a fair number of women scientists and women activists who contributed a lot for the welfare of society, state, nation, and world. In no way women are to be ignored. We must not we must not turn our blind eyes towards their power, quality, intelligence, and brilliance. Also, for India is concerned, it has witnessed so many women, successful women personalities, and the current president of India is Srimati Draupadi Murmu, who was born in 1958, is an Indian politician who has been serving as the 15th president of India since 25th July 2022. Yes, of course, they are like beacon lights for others. And so no way society, no way this masculine hegemony can defeat them. No way male persons of society can turn their blind eyes towards their emotional, physical, financial, and intellectual strength. They are to be treated as equal to men. The rights and opportunities for women should not be snatched by men. Though women have changed a lot, women have already educated themselves to a large extent. The welfare of society has already brought yet to a lot. Every individual in our society should be active and should be alert about education of women because if a woman is educated means and the surrounding can be educated. Everyone in the society can be enlightened. And it's my honor to focus on another successful Indian politician, it's Srimati Pratibha Patil. Pratibha Devi Singh Patil is an Indian politician and lawyer who served as the 12th president of India, spanning from 2007 to 2012. She is the first woman to become the president of India. Yes, in every sphere of our nation, have already shown their brilliance and challenge. They are epitome of the women who are especially living in rural society. Yes, Draupadi Murmu is an epitome, is an example for brilliance, that nothing is impossible. We all women can spread positive vibes and we all can send positive and optimistic thought and optimistic outlook. We can store optimistic outlook and we can send optimistic messages to unprivileged women who are unable to get proper education. Yes, getting education is the fundamental right of every human and basic, basic responsibility of every children. Empowerment of women is not impossible. It's somehow this because many hello.
Aditi ma'am, your voice is breaking. think she has lost connection.
Hello, is it
Ah,
audible
yes,
now?
yes, now it's okay.
Yes. Actually, we all women's society, women's section of society should retain negative capability. They should be physically, mentally, intellectually. They should be able enough. They should feel audacious that no constraint can conquer them. They are able and they can do anything as per their potential. They should be potent and they should not be confined to four walls of their home. They can do anything what they wish to do. And even when the parents do restrict or parents do draw a line of restriction, in that particular context, they are to gently deny that restriction and they have to come out of the restricted world with courage and time will come. Even the parents out of the conservatism who have restricted or who have said no to the positive action, they will realize and with that audacious action, they can be example, they can be become light for their fellow beings in their surroundings. Hello. Yes, ma'am. Is it audible now? Yes, ma'am. That's all about empowerment of women, which plays vital pivotal role. Without educating women, the key point behind my saying is that education for women is the basic need, which will be key to empowerment of women. Without giving proper education, women without giving proper education, we cannot give proper all their basic rights and opportunity. And so far women are concerned, they should not they should not have the absolute dependence on family and society. No, they should have to enjoy their independence. And at first, from the early age of their life, they have to be properly educated, properly groomed by the parents. If a woman is educated, she can take proper care of her child or children, and that will be through educated, civilized, progress society, state, nation, and world. And so far education is concerned, indeed, education plays pivotal role. It is like torch in the dark path of life. It can bring reformation, it brings such inner and outer confidence, but that education must be true education or real education, because with the help of real education only we can dream or we can hope to eradicate or to drive away with or to do away with illiteracy, poverty, dowry, gender discrimination in our society. If we don't have proper education or real education, we can never think of making a good society. And we can, yes, men and women are different from each other. But the difference is related to sex, means biological difference is there. The difference should not be cause of any disturbance, dispute. The difference should be celebrated because without one another is meaningless. A family cannot be made by only man. A family can be made by both man and woman. Only a male person cannot become father without the help of a woman. So each and everyone in the world should be conscious of the fact that women education, women empowerment, women freedom, and women opportunity should be enjoyed by women. It should not be snatched by no means. So thank you all. That's all about my today.
Thank you
Thank
very
you
much,
very
ma'am.
much. Thank you very much for your patient listen. Thank you very much for your great
It's
answers
very
and
nice
answering
to
from
you. Yes,
from how that was interrupted.
yeah. Yes, Pranati, ma'am. Yeah, it was great listening to you, ma'am. And there was actually a lot of examples that you gave about how the women are progressing in the today's world. It was great listening to you. And yes, as it was told by you, we have to look after so many issues when we are dealing with the women. We need to empower them, we need to educate them, and especially about the science and technology that we are talking about. So, to carry forward this topic, I am speaker Shalu Chaudhary, ma'am. Ma'am, just please take over the stage.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
hello, good evening, everyone, and very good evening, all the worthy and wonderful women out there. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
Yeah, thank you so much. I express my gratitude to the sir जिन्होंने मुझे invite किया, everyone for having me. I am Shalu Chaudhary, and I am teaching youngest holistic.
Just a minute.
Yeah,
Poonam Goti, ma'am, please mute yourself. Poonam, ma'am. Okay. Please continue.
yeah. Very good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for inviting me. I would like to express my gratitude to to IDY AMP Group, the founder of Mr. Ravi Shankar sir. Thank you so much for inviting me, and thank you so much, all of you, for having me. Uh, Today, I will tell you the three biggest quality of women जो उनमें होती है MPO, that is M is represent multitasking, P is represent planning, and O is represent organizing. साइकोलॉजी की रिसर्च ये कहती है कि विमेन की मेंटल स्टेबिलिटी मेन से ज्यादा स्ट्रांग होती है जी। वुमेन अगर बिजनेस के एंगल से देखा जाए तो विमेन जो फाइनेंशियल मॉडल रेडी करती है वो कोई और नहीं कर सकता। अगर वुमेन्स के एंगल से देखा जाए तो वुमेन्स सबसे पहले अपने फैमिली को रखती है, देन वो वर्क को रखती है, देन खुद को रखती है। यहाँ मेल और फीमेल का कहीं के कोई कंपैरिजन नहीं दिखाई देता क्योंकि मेंस फ्रॉम मार्स एंड वुमेन्स फ्रॉम वीनस बुक को आप स्टडी करेंगे तो आप जानेंगे कि मेन एंड वुमेन दोनों डिफरेंट है। वुमेन्स आर इमोशनल बीइंग एंड इमोशन एंड पैशन की स्ट्रेंथ वुमेन्स के अंदर बहुत ज्यादा होती है। तो वुमेन्स आर वेरी डिफरेंट एंड वुमेन्स के अंदर डिफरेंट काइंड्स ऑफ क्वालिटी होती है जो कि आज आई वुड लाइक टू थैंक यू मिस्टर रविशंकर सर जिन्होंने इस टाइप के प्रोग्राम को ऑर्गेनाइज किया एंड वन वंडरफुल मैसेज एंड गोल्डन मैसेज मैं आप सभी को सभी वुमेन्स को देना चाहूंगी कि ये गोल्डन मैसेज उन सभी वुमेन्स के लिए है जो आगे बढ़ना चाहती हैं और लाइफ में कुछ करना चाहती हैं। तो द गोल्डन मैसेज इज जिंदगी में सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट चीज होता है आपका सपना, आपका गोल, उसके लिए मेहनत कीजिए, जस्ट गेट इट। बिकॉज अगर आपने ऐसा नहीं किया, अगर आपने अपने गोल के लिए वर्क नहीं किया तो दुनिया आपकी काबिलियत को पहचान नहीं पाएगी। और अगर आप इस तरीके से नहीं करते हैं, आपको किसी से भी डरने की जरूरत नहीं है, ना प्रोफेसर से, ना समाज से, ना सोसाइटी से और ना ही भगवान से। अगर आप कुछ करना चाहती हैं और अगर आपको डर है किसी चीज का तो इस चीज से डरना चाहिए कि आप अपने सपने को पूरा नहीं कर रही हैं, राइट? एंड इस सभी चीज के लिए अपनी काबिलियत को प्रूव करने के लिए आपको ये चीज करनी पड़ेगी, अपने सपने पे वर्क करना पड़ेगा, अपनी काबिलियत को लोगों को दिखाना पड़ेगा, जस्ट प्रूव इट। एंड वुमेन्स एक स्ट्रॉन्ग पर्सनालिटी है एंड वुमेन की जो क्वालिटी होती है वो डिफरेंट काइंड्स ऑफ क्वालिटी होती है एंड वुमेन को एम्पावर करना बहुत जरूरी है। मैं आप सभी से एक क्वेश्चन पूछना चाहूंगी कि क्या वुमेन सभी सेफ है? ये आप क्वेश्चन का आंसर कमेंट बॉक्स में जरूर दीजिएगा क्योंकि वुमेन्स की क्वालिटी को समझना, उसको समझना और उसको एम्पावर करना बहुत ज्यादा जरूरी है। यहाँ मेन एंड वुमेन का कोई भी कंपैरिजन नहीं है। जिंदगी में सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट चीज होता है कि वुमेन्स अपने मकसद को, अपने सपने को जाने और उस पर वर्क करें। अगर ऐसा उन्होंने नहीं किया तो वुमेन्स की काबिलियत को कोई नहीं पहचान सकेगा। नाउ अवेक, अराइज and stop not till the goal is reached. तो वुमेन्स के लिए यही मैसेज है कि वो अपने लिए वर्क करें, क्योंकि हम सभी ने देखा है वुमेन्स घर में बहुत सारे वर्क करती है. वुमेन्स इज मल्टीटास्किंग एंड वुमेन इज इमोशनल बीइंग. मतलब वुमेन्स के अंदर इतने सारे इमोशंस होते हैं कि वो प्यार देना बहुत अच्छे से जानती है. नेचर इज शी नॉट ही. तो याद रखिएगा, क्योंकि नेचर जिस तरीके से करता है उसी तरीके से एक वुमेन भी को एम्पावर करना बहुत ज्यादा जरूरी है, और वुमेन की सेफ्टी के लिए प्लस उसको एजुकेट एंड एम्पावर करना बहुत ज्यादा जरूरी है. थैंक यू सो मच एवरीवन फॉर इनवाइटिंग मी एंड हैविंग मी. गॉड ब्लेस यू ऑल.
That is really necessary to empower the women as we are talking about. And yes, because we were talking about the evolving role of women in science and technology. So I would also like to just keep some of my points. Like firstly, that with see that yes, there are less number of women, though the number of girls coming to science and technology is increasing. But let me just tell you what's happening in India nowadays. Like still now in villages, there are schools which are working at the elementary level or the primary level. But for higher education, especially for continuing the education and science at the higher levels, it is becoming difficult for the girls because for the higher education colleges, especially the science and technology colleges, they have still not reached the rural parts of the country. So they have to travel to the cities, and this becomes a barrier. And this is one of the reasons when the girls they enter the science stream when they are studying at the school level, but they are not able to continue because the good institutions providing the science and technology education is not still available in the rural parts of the country. And because they have to travel to long places, and again due to the stereotypes, they are not able to come out of the house. They are not able to travel go to the nearby cities. Well, some of them are doing it, but still, this awareness is still to be there. The second is like, of course, as I already said, that it is thought that okay, the science and mathematics and all this technology, engineering, it is still for the boys. It is not made for the girls. So it is, I don't know why it is considered. But if you look at what we do at home, don't you think the calculations that we are doing every day, like for example an amount of money is as even Shalom was talking about planning and all, so don't we plan for the whole family every month? Okay, this much is the earning of the family and we have to spend this much amount of money and we have to save how much we have to spend for education. So these are all the calculations again which comes under science and mathematics that we are doing. The secondly is if the girls are educated about science, the science again it includes about health.
Yes,
So
right.
if a woman is aware about her health, of course she can take care of herself and she can also take care of the family. And yes, for improving the participation of women in the science and technology fields that we are talking about, there is a very important role that has to be played by the teachers. So there should be like at the school level or at the college level. So the teachers should encourage because what is happening is the girls are losing confidence in the science, technology, and mathematics like kind of subject due to the difficult conditions they are facing when they are continuing their education. So the teachers can improve the confidence of girls by making them aware that their academic abilities are not limited. The teachers should be able to help realize the girls that the gender roles prescribed by the society they cannot change their academic skills and talents. They are this is the talent that we are having. They cannot be changed just because the people are saying something. And then the teachers can choose the activities wisely so that the interest for science, math, and engineering subjects keeps on improving with each activity. And the activities should be selected according to the interest of the girl students so that they don't lose interest in their subject and that when the girls generally they grow up with like the science and technology careers are not made for them, So the teachers can erase this belief from the young brains by exposing them to the role models who have achieved heights by choosing the fields like science and technology. The schools should encourage interactive session with this role models by helping them, and they can also help them to read the biographies of successful women in science and engineering fields, so that the girls can get rid of this stereotype. And the other one more step that the teachers can be taking is that improving the performance of students to provide them with feedback regarding their performance. And the teachers should also encourage feedback. They should be taking the feedback they are getting in a positive way, because if they're getting the feedback and they are trying to improve upon it, so obviously the girls will never lose interest. And yes, and as we can see, like even I was telling earlier, in my area, I have seen the number of girls is increasing, but it is not the same everywhere. And as one more thing that I am observing is, somewhere at this level, at the engineering level, I'm in the engineering college. So here I see the number of female professors is very less. Still, compared to men, if we take the overall ratio of the girl students, and if we take the ratio of men and male to female ratio in the professors and all, still the number of females is still less, and I think somewhere it needs to be improved. Where there are a number of women coming up in this field. And in fact, in the national education policy, if we see, especially for the research, there are two autonomous bodies like the NRF and the NETM. They have been established, and both those autonomous bodies are encouraging research, and there are special provisions for women also. Like in mechanical engineering nowadays, there is a separate reservation for girls, so that they should be coming to mechanical engineering branches. In mining engineering, earlier the girls were not allowed. But now again, there is reservation for girls. Now the girls are allowed for mining also. So this is how we are improving in this category of science, technology, and innovations. And I hope, though we have a long way to go, but still we can achieve the equality that we are talking about. And yes, we have. I think Rajput sir has joined. Sir, are you there, Rajput sir?
Yeah, hi, good evening, good evening,
Good
good
evening, sir.
evening, hi, good evening, good
I would
evening,
like to
Assalamu
hear from
alaikum.
you, sir.
Hi, good evening, and very, very happy to see Rania ma'am. Rania ma'am, good evening, good morning, good afternoon to you.
Good
So,
evening.
yeah, we are waiting to welcome you in the month of September, right? So, eagerly waiting to welcome you. You're coming to India, to our country, wonderful country, beautiful country, nice people. So, you're going to meet
Looking
lot many
forward
people. Yeah,
to
yeah.
meeting you all in person.
Yeah, yeah, we all are a big fan of you. And once again, Anju ma'am, Assalamu alaikum. I was listening very clearly about Dr. Praniti and Shalu ji ने बहुत अच्छी बात की. She spoke very well about it. So for me, yesterday I was talking about the same thing. Now I like to add on that part. See, as per the data, we have Raghavendra sir, namaskar sir. Devini sir, namaskar.
Namaskar, sir.
Namaste.
Namaskar, sir. Namaskar. Sir.
Yeah.
It's my pleasure.
So, yeah. So we are talking about this to means earlier in till 2000, the total situation with the women people they were employed, they were just 16%. But as per the government data on 30th of January of this year, 19.6% women are employed, which is a very positive thing, which Dr. Anjum ma'am, which are saying that things are improving. Since we are talking about the SDG 2030, we are talking about the gender equality, we are talking about the women empowerment. I think it is really making a lot of noise there. And when the noise started, so it is like a million, the journey of 100 miles will start with the very first step, and already it is started. And at the same time, I would like to add the thing which is very important. There are 5 important parameters which I like to say, which is one is the social part, which is very important. Economically, women has to be strong. Education, what Shaluji was talking about it, that education is a dire need of any of the girl child. Then only the girl child is going to become a lady and then a woman in the future. So that is the stage. Political and physiological. So I think Shaluji or Pranati Patra ma'am, she was giving the example of our two honorable president, right? So I was listening about it. So these are the things are there which is very important, going to make a difference. So the churning has already started. And when the churn is already started, the things will be that we will be able to provide the confidence to the girl child, to the lady, and to the women. Self-care is going to be increased. Support on the person and the preferred sexes are very important. Here, I am going to be little candid on this, that when we talk about the women empowerment, a woman should support a woman. I repeat, a woman should support a woman. Today, why there is a fall? Right, because there is a negative gossiping happen. I'm so sorry, please don't mistake me. I'm with the folded hand. But a negative gossiping happens by a woman, for a woman to the other person. And that start pulling the things down. If you're doing a wonderful job, right, and the person who is jealous of the same gender, they will start bitching you, sorry to say this word, or gossiping against you, right, which is going to pull a woman to further grow on the level when you are in the professional world, whatever the things are there. And this is the reason that the women are getting pulled off. When I go in, when I listen the things in the various women empowerment forum, either it is an Indian forum or an international forum, they keeps on highlighting this part, that whatever said and done, if you have a fight with your colleague, if you are not happy with your boss, if you are not happy with your junior, a woman should not be pulling the leg of the other person. Because when you start pulling it, somebody get an opportunity. And you know that still it is becoming a men's world, right? So Patra madam has said about it, the men are from the Mars and women are for that. So all these things are there. There's a story is there which is very, very clear. They have become emotional. Somebody start putting it. So then it is making a lot of difference. So this is one thing here I like to highlight and sincerely request all the literate, educated women that please support your colleague as a women colleague, which is going to make a difference. Either you are in the college, either you are in the school, either you are in any type of the profession is there, because it is 1 plus 1 becomes 11. Don't try to degrade your colleague. God has not made the 5 fingers equal. Then how you can find all the people should be equal, all the women should be equal? You start putting the thing, you don't know which circumstances the woman is coming from the home. And suppose somebody is not able to do, the people, the human, the male, they like to pull it, right? It is a tendency. And it is not from today, it's the years together. And it is going to take a lot of time to change the mindset. It's changing, but the paradigm shift is still to come. So these are the things are there which is very important. And if you will do it, a woman will have the free life to live. Self-worth will be there, respect will be there, and dignity will be there. That can start with the women only. Believe you me, Anju ma'am, if in front of you somebody talk negative about any women, then if suppose, and you are a very important person, I'm just giving you an example. If you say don't talk about that women, you don't know about the strength of the women. Believe you me, there will be no other person, no other male will try to pull it down, because you know that the women power is becoming more stronger, and they will not accept this thing, which is very important. And once the women power is going to be very strong, nobody can dare to speak anything negative about it, because you have to spread the positivity of any person and every person, which is very important in the life. And that's why we talk about this part. Then only the social status will be there. Then only the equal rights will be there. Then only the equal packages will be there for the person. Then only the responsibility will be given to the person, which is very important. So that is all which I can say here on this platform that we talk. But as a same gender, we should be standing with our other same gender like a pillar, and never ever, whatever the mistake a person has done, but in front of the other gender or other person, we never ever should pull our own gender people, because it is going to it is like a termite which you are putting it. And what the termite does, one day it just clean the things, entire thing. And that the thing should not happen in any of the profession and any of the system. That is all which I can say on this wonderful platform of IDYM, where such a learned people have joined. There's such a great personality like you, Anju ma'am, you are there. Rania ma'am, which I know very well. Poonam ma'am, who is there since so many years. Raghavendra sir is there since so many years. And so many other people where I can say Pranati ji and Shalu has already spoken very well. Right. So these are the things are there which personally I feel, and wherever the forums is there, I always speak about it. The first thing is be a strong pillar for your own gender, which is very important, and nobody can thrash you. It is there. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. That is actually the most important thing. We give long speeches on women empowerment and how the women are evolving. But this is the most important, which I think, which even I have experienced at the workplaces, where a woman is not there to support another woman. They are just behind, like pulling the leg that we are having, and even more than men, the women are doing it for other women. So in this stage, I don't think like the women can grow, and we can talk about the evolving status of women in the society. Let it be any field. Let it be any field. It can't happen. And this is the greatest thing, the greatest job that we had today, that we were discussing so much of time, but this was something that was missing. And anyone else who would like to speak? I can see like Ranger sir is there and Poonam ma'am is there. Anyone who would like to share their views?
Yeah, madam. If you permit me, I'd like to say something.
Okay, sir, please.
Okay. Thank you, Anju ma'am, and thank you, Rajput sir. It's wonderful thought-provoking point which you are raised here, that the same gender should also respect the woman, especially. So here, if I would like to throw a few points in my opinion, that the concept of empowerment flows from the power. Women empowering means equipping the women with the intellectual development of the economically independent and then self-reliant and have a positive schemes to enable them to face the difficulties as well as different situation also. So participation in the development in the different activities uh, to see to face the world in effective manner, women can do definitely wonder. That's why in India, if we see in Panchayati Raj when it started in 1993, Amendment 73, it was told that that women should be also given 50% equally partnership in the especially panchayat area. So that nowadays, if you see that in a village area, there is a lot of development, and there are a lot of women are leading the role. And if we see that at present scenario, the topmost position of the president of India is our India woman. Then Sitaraman, Nirmala Sitaraman is the best example as a woman empowerment. So there are many people in India who are leading to the world also as a woman. But if I talk about that, if we can start empowering our children, especially girl children, especially in the village area, where the children can do anything. So if that equality can be maintained in the women's in the rural area, it will be a great impact in the society, because the women are not only making one house, they are making two houses together. So and to next generation also, they can contribute to the society and hello, can you hear me? Okay. So if we talk about this women empowerment, we need to have at least good education, good health provision, and security. Security in the sense that means they should also able to walk in the street in the same manner what the people need. They should be given full security by the government, by the people of the society, and they should come forward to behave a proper way. So I'm sure this type of the cases which is happening in Delhi or some a region, that should not happen, and that will not become example. So women need a good support by this society, by the government, and by all of us. So I'm sure they can formulate and there will be no gender biasing, and the poverty can be also reduced, because if a woman start working, she also contributes to financially make strong in the family. And uh, if a woman is given liberty to do so, definitely the society will change. So that is a very important. So that is what I wanted to say. Yes, I also agree with our Rajput sir, what he said, that the same gender, especially women, should also respect to the other women also. They should not pull down their siblings or their colleagues to become a superior. So that is also important. So that is from my side. And self-employment is also very important, because if women become an entrepreneur, or they become self-reliant, that will be a big change in the society. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for joining with us and sharing your views with us. And that was really and really a great thing that we must think about, that a woman should support another woman. And that is, it's not been just observing. Like sometimes I keep on saying, a woman is the biggest enemy of another woman. That's which I keep on saying sometimes when we see such kind of conditions arising at our
Ma'am,
workplace. Yeah,
ma'am, two lines I would like to speak about the women.
yeah.
दे हर पथ में नारी का साथ, दे हर पथ में नारी का साथ, देश का भविष्य नारी के हाथ, करो ना उस पर अत्याचार, मच जाएगा हाहाकार. ये मैं जो 4 लाइन की कविता सुनाना कहना चाहता था, कि देश में यदि नारियों पे अत्याचार होगा, तो डेफिनेटली देश बर्बादी के रास्ते में चला जा सकता है. तो हमें उनका सम्मान करना चाहिए और उनके भविष्य को संवारना चाहिए. यदि वो उसको संभाल लिया, तो एक जनरेशन संभाल सकते हैं. That's it from my side. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir, of course. And like we keep on telling the boys to respect women, I think we should also tell every woman to respect other women equally as well. So that was more important. And that was a very good point. That's a very powerful point that was raised by our speakers today.
Ma'am,
So,
Anju ma'am, it happens, and it start from the family only, right? Again,
yes,
I always say this thing, because if somebody talks about the neighbor, or somebody talks about somebody, again, due respect, the women, the head of the family of the women, she will immediately discard the other. No, 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 she doesn't know about the thing. So that culture started coming up, discarding, talking the things which should not happen, right? Because you don't understand what is happening in the other person's house. And then the children, they adopt the habit of discarding and talking negative about it. Right. But if you start ignoring the things, not giving importance to the things, then the children will not learn that thing, because whatever they see, whatever the thing which is happening in the home, they will start learning very fast. And you know that negative things spreads very fast. Positivity, it never comes like that. Like in the white canvas, if suppose there is a black spot, so nobody will see that in the white canvas you can paint a lot of beautiful things. They will only say why that black spot is there. Right. So that is the human tendency to see the things, to point out the negativity part, which has to be taken care. So that is all. हम वो बोलते हैं ना कि हीरो का हार तो कितने भी करोड़ों का पहन लो, लेकिन देखने के लिए तो तुम्हें शीशे के पास ही आना पड़ेगा. शीशा चाहे वो छोटा हो बड़ा हो, लेकिन कभी अक्स जो है वो बुरा नहीं होता है, वो हमेशा सही होता है. तो आप जितने भी बड़े हो जाओ, अल्टीमेटली आपको विमेन की तो इज्जत करनी ही पड़ेगी, चाहे वो कहाँ की हो, चाहे वो छोटे घर की हो, चाहे बड़े घर की हो.
thank you. Thank you very much, sir, for joining with us again. And I also thank the speakers, Rania ma'am, Shalu ma'am, and Pranati ma'am. And
Ma'am,
yes, I just
one more line.
yes,
One
ma'am.
more line I would add here by this Rajput sir's word only. आओ स्वच्छ समाज बनाएं, आओ स्वच्छ समाज बनाएं, महिला जागरूकता का पाठ पढ़ाएं, धरती हो या आकाश पर, नारी को हम चांद पर पहुंचाएं. एक नई आशा के साथ आओ सब हम मिलकर हाथ मिलाएं. That's it, bye. Thank you so much.
once again the speakers and also Rajput and Rangers for sharing their views on this wonderful Global Women Power Summit that we are having. And thank you to all those members of the IDYM who just took out time of their busy schedule to be a part of the show and listening to us. And of course, special thanks to the founder of IDYM Group of Companies who have given us a very good platform to share our views, not within ourselves, but with the entire world through this virtual platform. And also thank, like we are talking about women empowerment so much, and IDYM is one of the greatest examples because our CEO is a woman, Zainul Lasmi, who has been doing all the live streaming, and also Zenith ma'am.
Youngest human, youngest CEO.
Yeah, the
And
youngest.
you, ma'am, good evening.
Good evening, ma'am. Good
And
evening.
you are also example, ma'am. You are also one example.
I present my only two lines.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, please,
Please.
ma'am.
हाँ, बाकी मैं अपना जो व्यू है वो मैं सैटरडे को प्रेजेंट करूंगी, सर से मैं कह दूंगी, बस 2 लाइन।
बिल्कुल श्योर।
ठुमुक ठुमुक आने दो मुझको, अब मत मर जाने दो मुझको, मैं तेरा ही तो अंश हूँ, मैं तेरा ही तो वंश हूँ, दादी को समझाओ ना, पापा को मनाओ ना, दादा का मैं नाम करूंगी, तेरे वंश का नाम करूंगी, ठुमुक ठुमुक आने दो मुझको, अब मत मर जाने दो मुझको।
Perfect. Thank you so much. Really nice.
Yeah, thank you.
अंजू मैम, आपको भी बहुत बहुत दिल से शुक्रिया. We thank you because you are so much dedicated on the platform of IDYM. Putting a lot of efforts and work. So our salutations to you because it also goes to you. Selflessly, you are doing it and really hats off to you. Thank you so much on the behalf of everybody, because whenever I am coming, you are the one person who is maintaining such a beautiful way, making the things happen. So real salutations to you, Anju ma'am.
Thank you.
And Ranu ma'am, September, we will wait for you. September. We all will come down. I will come from Gujarat. Ravi will be coming from Patna, and so many people who respect you, they all will fly down and they like to meet you. So that is
the first time we come to India, so I'm very excited.
Yeah. We also are waiting for that September dates of yours so that we should come and meet you, because you are one of the person who is one of the most respected person, regarded person, and in the every community and all. So thank you so much, and good night from myself.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a nice day.
Bye.